It's a genuine Roman chariot. The Roman Amphitheatre in Nimes is among one of the best preserved in the world. Coming here gives a fabulous impression of what the locals would have experienced around 2,000 years ago, minus the blood and violence, of course. It is virtually intact, having been in constant use down the centuries as both a fortified garrison and housing for the inhabitants of the town. In fact, people still lived in the building up until the end of the 18th century. Built around the 1st century, it is around 130 metres long and 100 metres wide, with enough seating for 24,000 people, and it was a regular host of the Roman Games. Spectators were divided into 4 sections according to their class, with the poorest at the top and the richest nearest the arena. Gladiators, charioteers, convicts and wild animals all graced the arena floor at some point. Contrary to popular belief, most gladiators were not slaves, at least not in the later time of the Roman Empire. Instead, they were free men who willingly signed a contract to fight with the gladiator school. From then on, the school had control over their lives, and it was in their best interest to keep them alive. Fights rarely went to the death, and a gladiator could earn huge sums of money if they were successful and popular, so there was no shortage of volunteers. Convicts were used as a lunchtime matinee, with those sentenced to death usually tied to a stake and ripped apart by various animals. Sometimes they would fight each other in mortal combat, which could earn the victor a reprieve for a few days more. Animal fights were also common, with wild beasts tied to each other to ensure a vicious spectacle. The arena is still in use today, with concerts, Roman game exhibitions, and a couple of bullfights staged each year. I can highly recommend getting the audio guide if you come here as a tourist, as it really brings the story to life. And they have a fabulous set of gladiator depictions on the top floor. Just a few hundred metres down the road lies an equally well-preserved temple, one of the most complete in the world. It was built between 2 and 5 AD and is dedicated to Lucius and Caius, the grandsons of the Emperor Augustus, who was deified upon his death, and so it is a temple to the cult of Augustus. As with the arena, it owes its preservation to various uses down the centuries, such as a monk temple and a court of justice, before being fully restored in the 2000s. It was built in the Greco-Roman Corinthian style, with the columns being 9 metres high and the overall height of the temple being 17 metres.